Okay, so yeah, Dr. Manoj, we are live. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this weekday evening here for our welcome webinar for our cohort 7 batches for the LJMU Masters program. I'm Sumit. I'm the Student Experience Manager for the Machine Learning programs. And as you know, Dr. Manoj, who's from LJMU, would be kind of taking ahead the session. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes for more attendees to join in. And Dr. Manoj has his session planned where he would be taking you through the entire agenda of the welcome webinar. In case you have any questions, do post it in the Q&A section. I would request you not to post it on the chat section, post it in the Q&A so that Dr. Manoj can take it one-on-one. And in case like your question is not getting answered, like don't worry, like all the questions would be taken towards the end. Okay, for the learners who have just joined, we are just waiting for more learners to join. So we'll just start in a couple of minutes. In case you have any questions, you can post it in the Q&A section. So Dr. Moj, I think it's 7:04 here. I think we can start when you're ready. Dr. Manoj?
So, hi Sumit, is my voice audible?
Yeah, Dr. Manoj, we can hear you.
Okay, that's great. So let me start now. So, hello, hi everyone. Good evening to you all. So, by the way, my name is Manoj. I'm a postdoctorate fellow from Liverpool John Moores University. So, I have over 10 years of experience in the industry as well as a teaching data science module. And my primary research interest are in the field of data mining, machine learning, health informatics, and information security. I will be the LJMU moderator, working closely with the other academic members from our university. And I will also be a person in charge for moderating your thesis to ensure the quality and standards of LJMU. Now, and for today's welcome webinar, it's just going to be a general discussion. And if you guys have any queries, want to know about your master's program, you can feel free to post your questions in the Q&A panel and not in the chat window. I just want to repeat, please feel free to post your questions in the Q&A panel and not in the chat window. Remember guys, there are over 200 participants for this welcome webinar, and if you start to post the questions in the chat window, it gets kind of messy and it'll be quite hard for me to keep track of all the questions. So I would insist you all to post your questions in the Q&A panel. Okay, so let's start. During your postgraduate program, you would have played a lot with the data through applying statistics, visualization, and algorithms. And you might have built a strong foundation during your PhD. So, in order to call yourself as a data scientist or a machine learning expert, you need to complete the master's dissertation. So, why the dissertation is so important? Remember, guys, in any business domain, you are required to identify and solve the problem. And moreover, you are required to justify the process used to solve those problems. So, similarly, in your dissertation, is meant to identify the problems from the literature and articulate the approach which is taken to solve those problems. And by the way, it's a time for you to invest in the hand gripper. And if you're wondering why, the answer is very simple. You need to train your hand as well as to relieve your stress. It's an analogy to emphasize that you'll be reading and writing a lot. Remember, guys, in your dissertation, you will be reading and writing a lot, and I mean it. So it's a good time for you to invest in a hand gripper, to get some extra grip on your keyboards as well as in your mouse. And guys, we can understand it's very challenging to strike the balance between your work and family and doing your dissertation. But remember, because of your dedication, you have reached your final level towards the completion of your master's program. And your 6-month journey, it's going to change your path in some other way. So it is important for you to start searching the data set. So that should be the first thing which you need to do. You should start searching the data set. Second, you should try to identify the problems in the data set. And you should try to keep a habit of reading at least, 1 or 2 papers a day. And those papers needs to be related to the data set as well as to the problems which you are planning to work. And whenever you are trying to read any literatures, extract some of the key information from those papers and try to maintain a literature database. So this would be very helpful for you to, to understand like what are the things which has been done by other researchers and what you can do in order to overcome some of the issues which you have seen in the other research works. And remember, do not postpone your writing until the end. This is one of the common mistakes the students do. They may read around 30 or 40 papers, and then they think like they will just go back and write. That's a wrong thing to do. Whenever you read any article, you should start writing. So you should be doing 2 things in parallel. Reading and writing has to be done in parallel. And you can try to keep a habit of writing, at least a day, every single day of writing 150 words or 300 words, not more than that. Just try to keep a habit of writing 150 to 300 words. So that would be a good start for you. Guys, you need to have a right set of tools to save a hell lot of time. So I would suggest for your master's program, there are 2 such important tools which you guys have to install. The first one is Mendeley. Okay. The Mendeley, it's a reference management software. And we will help you to understand like how does a Mendeley works. Just a moment. Okay, so we will be having a separate session on how to use a Mendeley, but you don't have to wait until that time. You can try to install the Mendeley software. It's completely free. Okay, and the citation style which we are going to use is a Harvard style, which you can see here. And Mendeley, we have already pre-configured our citation style. Just a moment, I just got a message into the chat. Let me check. Okay, guys, please don't post your questions in the chat window. I just repeat, please don't post your questions in the chat window. Okay, now going back, the citation style which we are going to use is a Harvard style. So in the Mendeley, we have already come up with our own citation style. So if you go to the bottom, you can see here, Liverpool, John Moores University, Harvard. So that is a citation style which already available as a plugin in Mendeley. So you can just install that plugin, and then you can just take care of your citations as well as your reference. Okay, and before you start your master's program, meaning to say, like, before you start to write your report, whether it is your proposal or your thesis, go to this link, mendeley.com/guides/videos. Go to this link and try to watch the video tutorials. So the video tutorials, if you see here, all the videos are very short, somewhere like 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes. And there are about 20 or 30 videos, if not mistaken. And when you club all these videos together, it's about like 30 minutes. And the 30 minutes of time which you are going to invest in Mendeley, it's going to help you a lot. So it's not going to be a waste. So please try to watch all these 30 minutes video on how to use a Mendeley. Okay. Now, the second software which you need, it's Grammarly for Microsoft Office. And by the way, I'm not affiliated to any of these softwares, okay? And there are quite a lot of other softwares which are available to check your grammatical errors. And even the Grammarly has a free version as well as a paid version. Just the free version would be more than enough for you to check your grammatical errors. And one more thing you need to keep it in mind, you should use your Grammarly once you have completed your proposal. So don't keep trying to check your grammatical errors quite often. Okay, that's a wrong approach. So first thing, you should start writing. And once you have completed let's say you have completed a specific section or an entire proposal, then you can use this Grammarly to check for some grammatical errors. And I just repeat, the free version is more than enough. If you think like you want to capture more, um, the services which are available for the paid one, so it's up to you. So these two softwares are really important, the Mendeley as well as a Grammarly. And apart from Grammarly, there are a few more softwares like a Ginger. And there are a lot of softwares available in the market. So you can just do your own research and you can choose whichever the software you like to check for the grammars. Now, what support is available for you? First, it's your student mentors. So whenever you have any issues, you don't have to wait until the end. You just have to go and talk to your student mentors. If you have any queries, it can be an administrative queries or it can be some academic queries, academic related queries. So you should always reach your student mentors. Second, it's your thesis supervisor. Your thesis supervisor would be assigned after you submit your project topic. Okay, guys. In your master's program, let me just talk a little bit about the modules which you are going to learn. So during your master's program, you have two modules. The first module is the research methods, and the second module it's your dissertation. So during your research method module, that's the first module. So I just repeat, during your research methods module, you need to select the topic and choose your data set, and you have to submit for our approval. So once you do that, based on the topic which you have submitted, we will choose the supervisor. So that is the second part. And the third, it's about the LJMU e-library resources. During the upcoming slides, I will be discussing a little bit more about what are the resources which are available for the students. Okay, so let me skip now. And the next, it's about the live classroom sessions. Every single week on a specified date and time, you will be having a live classroom session. So the live classroom session is a platform which is being provided for you guys to clarify any doubts during your research. And I'll be the person who will be moderating, I'll be the person who will be in the live classroom sessions. So during live classroom sessions. If you have any queries, you can just feel free to post, and everyone would be participating for the live classroom session. In addition to that, if you feel like you have a doubt which is very specific to you, and you need a little bit more clarification, then you can go for a one-to-one call session as well. So a one-to-one call session, it can be either with me, or there are a few more persons who's been involved in this program, who can help you to assist on your research. So what is expected from you? First thing, you have to be independent. Remember, guys, during your postgraduate diploma or during your undergraduate studies, you might have depend a lot on your supervisors or in your lecturers, but in your master's program, you have to be independent. There won't be anyone to help you in your thesis, meaning to say, we are all the person who can just advise you or guide you. We cannot sit besides and they teach you. Okay, those are two different things. So you have to be independent. So let's say, for example, if you have some queries on a specific algorithm, or if you couldn't able to understand a specific algorithm which you're planning to work in your research, then you have to go and study that algorithm on your own. You have to go and explore how it works. So there will be quite a lot of independent work during your master's program. Second, be proactive rather than reactive. So as I said earlier, if you have any problem, if you're facing any problems, you don't have to wait until the end. Try to immediately reach either to your student mentor or your thesis supervisor. That's very important. Don't wait until the end. The third important thing which we expect is you to meet your deadlines. Remember, guys, the deadlines are very strict here. So the dates are fixed. You have to submit your assignments or your projects or thesis on time. If you couldn't do that, then you may have to follow the LJMU policy, which is on either an applying an extension or a PC forms, or it can be a leave of absence, and these things would be discussed by your student mentors at the later part. Then the next thing, try to attend all the sessions which has been hosted by the upgrad. Upgrad team would be organizing or inviting experts from various fields to just to give and come and give a talk. So try to attend those sessions. And towards the last, it's very, very important. Try to have a regular calls with your thesis supervisors. That's very important. And it is also important for you to log all the conversations that was happened with your thesis supervisor. So this will help us to understand how well you are progressing. Okay, guys. Now, in LJMU, we do have a separate web page for you guys to view your results, as well as to update your passwords, or if you want to download some of our forms or policies, you can go to this specific page. So the link is given here, as well as in QR code. You don't have to take this link as well as the QR code. The slides will be available after the session. And by the way, your student mentor would be sharing you this link as well. So I just repeat, in order for you to check your web results, if you want to download some of the forms, and if you want to reset your passwords or change your passwords, so everything has to be done through this link. Because if you go to our direct domain, it might be quite confusing for you guys, so especially for the first time users, it might be quite hectic for you to navigate to this page. So the link would be shared to you at the later part. Now let's talk a little bit about what type of resources and e-library resources that are available for you. Remember, guys, LJMU, this is what I heard. Okay, LJMU has been spending about £1 million every year on the subscription. So we have subscriptions with quite a lot of databases, or I mean to say like a research database or journals subscriptions. So if you want to download any paper from a Scopus or a Science Direct, you don't have to pay anything. For example, if you go to an IEEE, and if you want to download a paper, you can see at the top, the charges would be somewhere around $30 or $40 to download a paper, but you don't have to pay when you use our LJMU e-library resources, meaning to say your student account. When you use your login credentials to download those papers, then you don't have to pay. So this is a e-library resources, a home page. And in your home page, you can see the journals here. Somewhere at your left corner, e-journals A to Z, or the database A to Z. So when you go to your database A to Z, you can try to search for the research database which you're trying to download some papers. Let's say, for example, if you want to download a paper from an IEEE, you can search your IEEE, and then it will display it over here. When you click on this link, it will automatically take you to the IEEE Explorer homepage. And when you click on the sign in, you have to choose this option, Open Athens. Okay, so when you click on an Open Athens, this window will appear. So you have to search the university name. So you just have to type Liverpool John Moores University, and when you hit the search button, it will display the university link. So some at the bottom here. So when you click on the university name, it will automatically redirect to our LJMU homepage, where you just have to enter your student ID and your password. Okay, once you have successfully authenticated, then it will allow you to download the papers from IEEE. So this is one method for you to download the paper. The second method is, you don't have to come to our LJMU library resources homepage. You can directly go to the IEEE Explorer, and then you can just follow the procedure from there. So you can skip by coming to our LJMU homepage and then trying to move to this process. You can directly go to the journal homepage, click on the Open Athens, and then you can start downloading the papers. So I just want to tell you, it's very important for you to reset your passwords. Your passwords expires in 60 days. So please try to reset your passwords. Change your password, change your password before the expiry date. This is important. If you lose your password or if you forgot your password, then it comes into quite tricky part. You may have to contact certain teams, and it will take a little bit longer time since you guys are not here. So my advice is, please try to change your passwords before it expires. Okay, guys. So that's it about our MSc program, and if you have any queries, please feel free to post your questions in the Q&A panel and not in the chat window. And by the way, there are quite a lot of students who have already posted their questions, and let me try to answer them. In some instances, a student might, there might be a couple of similar questions which has been posted. In that case, I will just ignore. So the first question, it's from Satish. I want to select my mentor instead of random allocation. How can we do that? It's not possible, Satish. Okay, so your thesis supervisor will be assigned by us based on your supervisor profile, and based on the research topic which you are submitting, we will try to match, and then we will assign. So the next one is from Rohit. So how feasible and difficult is to do research on algorithm as part of MSc? Okay, remember guys, if you start to read and start to write your thesis from the beginning, then you can easily complete your master's dissertation time. Okay. So the next one is, for what is the criteria for receiving honors? Try to do a little bit more work on your thesis, which can help you to get a better grade. So the next question is from Satish, which has already been answered. I want to select my thesis support mentor, so I'm just going to skip. The next one is from an anonymous attendee. Will there be a convocation or graduation ceremony for us where we will have to go to LJMU to receive our degree? Not really. It's going to happen usually in grad, so you can just talk to your student mentor. The next question is from Sanjil. Now I'm in talk with a company for thesis topic. Should we sign MOU with the university and company? Well, you don't have to get any signature from our university. You just have to talk to the company. If they are willing to provide the data set, get an approval from them. And you just need to send us the approval letter to us. That's it. The next question is from Akash. And by the way, guys, there are over 80 questions which has already been posted now. So please wait. Let me try to answer all these 80 questions first, and then you can start posting your questions. Otherwise, we won't be able to complete. Okay, so please don't post the questions now. Let me complete those 80 questions. It's been increasing a lot. So the next question is from Akash. If I want to use the data set from my company, what would be the process and will there be any confidentiality agreement? Or do we need to share the data with LJMU with the final submission? No, Akash. If your approval clearly states that the data is not going to be shared or the code is not going to be shared by us, we are fine with it, but it has to be mentioned in your approval letter. And remember, guys, for those who are interested to get the data from your own company, and if you want to do it for your master's dissertation, yes, well and good, you can do that, but it needs to be approved by our team. And second, once it has been approved, you have to get an approval letter. So the approval letter has to be submitted along with your thesis. That's important. The next question, can we get access to the past master's thesis? It will help to understand the format and quality of the thesis writing. Okay, Kishore, you don't have to worry about the thesis structure or the format. During the live classroom session, we will guide you on what are the things which you need to focus, and you will be provided with a template, your master's dissertation template. We don't share any samples. Akash, when we will get access to the tools, you can just go and download those tools which are available free. You don't have to wait. You can just go and download the Menly and Grammarly. Ashutosh, what kind of technical mentoring or the support we cannot expect during the program? Well, if you want to understand some algorithm, or if you want some help on your implementation or your bug, those kind of things will not be entitled. So you have to do on your own. The next one is from Shreyas. Can you please repeat about the Menly? Okay, so the Menly is a reference management software. Whenever you get an idea from some of the articles, you have to acknowledge them. So how do you acknowledge them? There is a certain types of formats which you need to follow. Like you have to include the citation as well as you have to show it in your document, the references. So this mainly will help you to automatically generate those styles. Okay, so you don't have to manually key in all those information. The next one is from Ashutosh. Would it be more paper or publishing based program or more of a POC or implementation kind of a program? So, here the focus is mainly on your way in which you are trying to address your problem. So meaning to say, like how well you can read the articles and you can show that these are the problems which you have identified from other researchers, and this is what you are trying to do. So it's mainly on your documentation. Siddharth, please help guide how to search for the data assets. So during the live classroom session, I will be discussing more about what are the platforms that are available for you to download your data sets. So it will be discussed at the later part. Okay, the next one is from Shares. Can you please share the links to Menly? Well, I'll be sharing you this PowerPoint slides after the presentation, after the session. If you want now, you can just directly go to Google and search for Menly. Okay, the next one is from Ram. Can this software use for Mac as well? Yeah, the answer is yes. The next one is from Siddharth. What do we do if we don't get support from student mentor when required? Um, you just have to talk to some of the upgrade team members. No? And by the way, guys, the live classroom sessions, it's going to be mainly on an academic. So for all administrative things, you have to talk to your student mentor. So during the live classroom sessions, only the queries related to the academics will be answered. The next one is from Hemchandra. Do we have to select the topic, or we can come up with our own topic? You can choose the topic which is already available in the upgrade platform, or you can try to come up with your own topic. And we would encourage you to come up with your own topic. And before you come up with your own topic, it's important for you to go and find the data set. That should be the first step. Sneha, is it group wise or individual? It's individual. The master's dissertation has to be an independent piece of work. Okay. The next one from Rajesh. How do we choose a data set? How do we know the data set selected cat as the problem we are solving? Well, that's where the literature review comes into play. Anonymous attendee, would some examples for research topics be made available? The answer is yes. The next one is from Prashant. Would the curriculum constitute just research and paper presentation, or will there be any other assignments, projects to be accomplished? No. During your research methodology, you have to submit a research proposal. And during the second phase of your model, which is your dissertation, you have 3 submissions. The first one, it's the interim report or a mid thesis. Second, it's your final thesis, and then your video presentation. Anonymous attendee, do we get more time if your topic or data set is not accepted, or choose another one? No, anonymous attendee. It's very difficult. As I said, the dates are fixed, so you have to start searching the data sets now. And when you are submitting to us, you will be submitting around 3 different topics, and we are going to approve. So it's going to be very fast. The approval process is going to be very fast, but it's important for you to choose the data set now. Okay, so the next one is from Ankit. What will be the qualification of thesis supervisor? Can we discuss academic issues with him? Well, your thesis supervisors would be qualified and they have been approved by LJMU. Okay. And if you have any academic related queries or something on an administrative queries, you should always talk to your student mentor. The next question is from Rishi. Do we have certain go-to link which we can access for research papers? Okay, in order to access your research papers, you can either go to IEEE, Science Direct, or ResearchGate, or PubMed, Springer, even Google Scholar. So those are the places where I should start looking for the papers. The next one is from Anonymous attendee. Can 2 people work on same topic together, or it has to be individual? Well, it's already been answered. Your master's dissertation is an individual work. 2 or more persons can work on the same data set or same topic, but the problem is they are trying to solve, or the approach which they have taken has to be different. The thesis supervisors will be from upgrade or from LJMU. So those are all the persons from an upgrade, and they have been approved by LJMU. Anonymous attendee, before getting access to LJMU library, do we have any other resources to refer citations? Yes, you can go to the Google Scholar Research Gate. The next question is from Alok. Will we get LJMU email ID? Yes, Alok, you will get your LJMU email ID. What would be the frequency for the thesis supervisor call? I think it should be available in your upgrade platform. Shivam, shall we get this link? What link, Shivam? When can we expect to get our student ID? Oh, by the way, you are not officially, we are not officially started the program. The program is starting at the end of October. So, we are just waiting for some of the administrative process to complete. So once it's completed, you should be able to get the credentials. It will take some time, guys. The next question is from Ankit. For how long students will have access to LJMU e-library until before you complete? Links for a library resource page. Okay, Sivam, I can share to you. The next one is from Chandrasekhar. When we will have access to LJMU library, which has already been answered, so I'm just going to skip. Will we get library access even after the course? The answer is no. The next one from Thea, can I take a project in my organization? How would I get a supervisor for that? Well, you can take a project from your organization, but the supervisor would be assigned through upgrad. And if you want, you can have some of a co-supervisor as a co-supervisor or as a person to guide you in your company. That's up to you. Rajesh, your question has already been answered, so I'm just going to skip. The next one is from Priya. Mainly, we need to add any credential or only the LJMU student ID. Okay, so for the mainly, you can use your private email ID. Thank you very much, Priya, for asking this question. Remember, guys, your LJMU email ID would be valid only until you complete your master's program. So meaning to say, after your master's program, you will lose all your data if you have used it in a mainly. So for the mainly, please use your personal email ID. Vinith, will we get prompt before our password expire? Yes, Vinith. The next question is from Surya. We were informed that there would be a list of domains we can select from, for our thesis. Wanted to know about the same. Yes, Surya, there would be some list of topics that will be available in the upgrade platform, but please don't just, look at those topics. Try to do a research on your own. Find some of the data assets and some of the problems on your own. Vipul, your question is already answered, so I'm just going to skip. Siddharth, what are the authentic resources for exploring data assets for research? Okay, you can try to, refer Kaggle or a Google dataset search. You can try to search for UCI. Yeah, you can go to the UCI dataset or some research centers. Sandeep, other than IEEE resources, what are the other library resources we get? I think which was already answered. Let me just repeat. Springer, Science Direct, PubMed, and ACM. So there are quite a lot, huh, Sandeep? Tia, do you recommend a list of projects so that we can pick based on our interest? No, Tia, it has to be on your own. Try to think of what topic is interesting to you, and then you should choose your data set first. That should be the first thing which you need to do. Depend, your question is already been answered, so I'm just going to skip. Kalpesh, will we be using APA format for writing dissertation? No, we are going to use Harvard. Sivam, your question is already been answered, so I'm just going to skip. Inderjit, it's answered. Prashant, it's already answered. Can we get data sets for LJMU site? You mean the data sets from LJMU sites? And no, the data sets which I've already explained, and like these are the data publishers from where you can download the data sets. Sudarshan, are we expected to know how to deploy the developed model into production? No, Sudarshan, it's not required. Sandeep, what's the date or timeline to choose or select the papers? The papers has to be the recent papers. Shreyas, can we also get thesis topics from LJMU? Yes, which has already been answered. So I'm just going to skip. There are quite a lot of questions related to the credentials. So I'm just trying to skip all those questions. The next one is from Tusha. I'm looking through the topics and I'm unable to progress much. Is it possible if I get help in selecting the research topic? Okay, Tusha, don't search for the topic, search for the data set. I'm just keep repeating this, search for the data set. You can come up with a topic once you have finalized the data set. Aishwarya, by when we should decide our thesis topic? Please check your upgrade platform, that timeline should be given, and if not mistaken, it should be somewhere next month. Hafizullah, the mainly requires username and the password from Elsevier. It's no, please try to use your personal email ID. Don't use LJMU. The next question is from Atul. What percentage of research work is coding? Well, your coding is less than 40 percentage. So your most of your thesis marks goes for your writing. Gautam, I'm a little bit confused with the topics I want to select. Will there be any assistance provided? We will help you to understand the process on how to choose a research topic. So based on that, you have to search on your own. Suman, any guidance on how to choose the research topic? Yes, Suman. Once the program officially starts, during the live classroom session, I'll be teaching you how to choose a research topic, where to search for the research topic, and how you should narrow down your research, how to identify the scope or significance of your research. So everything would be discussed. The next question is from Priya. Do we need to submit the topic name only or explanation of it also? And we will get the topic option from LGME too. No, Priya, you have to submit the topic, description, and the data set. Okay, there are a few more questions which is on how long the LGMU will allow the library resources for you guys to access. After you complete your program, probably for a month time, that should be the max. That's a max. Okay, the next question is from Vishnu. Can we choose utility topic for thesis? What do you mean by utility topics, Vishnu? When will the thesis topics be available? Please check with your student mentor. The next one is from Vipul. How can I be successful in this course? What is your advice? How many hours per week I need to spend? Please try to spend every single day at least 2 hours, and keep a habit of reading one paper. That's a minimum. You should read at least one paper a day. So then, will our dissertation be published in any of the journal? If you are interested, you can publish your thesis, and there are quite a lot of students from the past cohorts who have published in the research journals or the conference. What percentage of people successfully complete MSc with upgrad? a lot of students have been successfully completing the MSc program, and we are happy to see that the students are much more dedicated, because you guys are working professionals and you know the importance of your masters and how well it's going to help you. So the students are really eager to learn, and which we have seen in the past cohorts, and the failure rate, it's very very negligible, to be honest. The next question is from Mohit. Any other web links for research papers reading until we get access to for LJMU e-library? I think this is kind of quite a popular question. Let me try to post it in the chat window. Okay. Okay, guys, you can refer the chat message. So I have given about 7 services that are available. The first two, Google Scholar and the ResearchGate. Okay, so the Google Scholar, sometimes you may be able to find some of the papers which are readily available for you to download without the login credential. And the second one, a ResearchGate, where the authors, they might have uploaded the papers, and if not, you can try to request the papers directly from the authors. So that would be the two services which does not require any credentials. And along with that, I have also posted some of the research database, which you guys might be using it in your master's dissertation, which is your IEEE Springer Science Direct, ACM, and PubMed if you're working on some medical. Okay, so the next one is from anonymous attendee. By when we can have the email address configured, which has already been answered. The next one, list of topics, which has also been answered. So I'm just going to skip. How many theses we need to complete? Could you please guide through the different steps involved in the thesis? You just have to submit only one thesis. What would be the approach on finalizing the data set? That's a question posted from Prathav, a very good question. And as I said earlier, there will be a session on how to choose your data set and what are the things which you need to look for. Everything would be discussed during the live classroom session. The next one is from Mohammad Abib. What if I haven't selected topic? Will thesis or student mentor will guide us? No. As I said, this is an independent work, so you have to search for the title, the data set. Everything needs to be done by you. The next question is from Ankit. What happens if our company do not provide a project or data set and account for sensitive information? Will LJMU provide the same? If your company is not willing to share the data set, that's fine. You just need to get an approval letter. That's it. The next question is from Utkarsh. How to decide the topic for thesis? Will it be assigned to us or we have to discuss with the thesis supervisor? I think which has already been answered. You have to search the data set, and from that you should start reading the papers and you will be coming up with the topic, and your thesis supervisor would be assigned based on the topic which you have submitted. The next question is from Vijay. Will there be any guidance given on the thesis topic to select? Yes, Vijay. The next one is from Prashant. Should the research paper be published in a journal, or is it sufficient only for the dissertation to be presented to the university? For the submission, for the submission, we just need your dissertation. Siddharth, will our thesis will be published in any journal? If you are interested, yes, you can publish. What are the main data sets so I can select the data from? That's a question posted from Rajesh. Let me try to post it in the chat window. The question seems to be quite popular as well. So please give me a time, guys. Let me just type it in the chat window. Okay, guys, please refer your chat window. So these are some of the places from where you can download your data set, from Google, from UCI, or if you want, you can, Google has come up with a service called as a Google data set search engine from where you can download the data sets. The fourth one is an IEEE data port. Fifth, it's an Amazon. So Amazon do have some of the data sets. Health has few data sets, Yahoo, and the eighth one is about the research centers. There are quite a lot of research centers that are published their data sets. It's on some of the cancers or some of the treatments or some other areas. So if you want, you can download the data sets through the research center. And the ninth, also from competitions. There are quite a lot of competitions which has been held, and the data sets are available for public to use. So you can also use the data sets from a competition. Nitin, when will be the deadline to choose our topic, which has already been answered? So I'm just going to skip. Chetan, what is the best place to find the data science research paper which we can start reading right away? I think it's already been answered. Please refer your chat window. Can we publish our thesis in any research journal? Yes, you can. Quite a lot of students have done in the past. In a recent undergraduate from Motaya College with no industry experience, how difficult would it be for me to complete my thesis? You don't have to worry, guys. For everyone, it's going to be something new on coming up with your problem and doing a reading and writing your thesis. So it's going to be a new experience for everyone, so regardless of your expertise or experience with other program. The next question is from Sanjay. Will there be a defense or will there be viva at the end of our thesis with the dean people from our company? No, Sanjay. It's going to be a video recording. So you will record your presentation in a video and you will share. Yes, Mitu, your question is already been answered. So I'm just going to skip. The next question is from Thea. How do I know if the data set is not used by someone else for their research? No, it's better if the data set is being used by other people. You can learn from their mistakes. So that is what the research is all about. So it's better if someone have used the data set, and if they have come up with a paper, you can read that paper and you can pinpoint like these are the areas where you require some improvements or something better can be done. Yeah, sure. What will be the role of LJMU and MSc kind of interaction with LJMU? Okay, so all during the live classroom sessions, you are going to clarify your doubts, and we are going to help you through the process, and all the moderations are going to be done in LJMU. Yeah, your question is already been answered, so I'm just going to skip. What are the standards or benchmarks to be set for selection of any topic or submission for the report? Please wait until our live classroom session. There is a separate session which will help you to focus only on how to choose your research topic. Anonymous attendee, is it mandatory to give 3 proposals? The answer is no. You are going to submit 3 topics along with the short description and data set. We will approve your topic, and based on the approval, you are going to work only on one topic for your proposal, and you will continue with the same topic for your thesis. The next one is from Deepak. If I'm doing research on my company data set, is it required to submit some approval from my company to LJMU? Yes, Deepak, it is important for you to get a approval. It can be in a form of an email, or it's better if it is in a letter. Will the supervisor help us in writing research proposal? Absolutely not. Aishwarya, how do we get the presentation? Is it a live session or through recordings? It's going to be through recordings, Aishwarya. The next question is from Rajesh. Any guidance on selecting the data set from thesis supervisor or mentor be provided? Yes, Rajesh. It's the next one. It's from Swati. Your question is already been answered, Swati, so I'm just going to skip. Anonymous attendee, your question is already been answered, so I'm just going to skip. Will the sample topics provided to us data set will also be shared, or we have to find the data set on our own? You have to find the data set on your own. Well, what should we do to be prepared before the research module starts? Search for the data set. Try to find some papers related to the data set, and you should start reading those papers. So that should be the things which you need to do before your research module starts. Sivam, what will be the structure or format for the resource papers? Don't worry, Sivam. Once the program starts, we will be sharing you the format. Anonymous attendee, LGNU has open dataset. The answer is no. Anand, will LJMU be publishing selective research papers? No. Naveen, what are the timelines for our September batch? As you mentioned, it will begin by the end of October. Please talk to your student mentor. Anonymous attendee, will we get LJMU credentials before the proposal phase? Yeah, that's right. What is our action plan for tomorrow in this course? As you said, the course starts by the end of October. Please talk to your student mentor. What is the minimum volume we should have for the data set we choose? There is no such thing Even if your data set can be of a few thousand instance or few million instance, that does not have any impact. Afizullah, does it require approval if we use the data from public portals like data.gov? Not required. The next question is from Sivam. If after course is over, LJMU email ID will be taken off. So you just have to talk to your student mentor, Sivam. How much research paper one generally have to read to select a research topic? Probably 5 papers. That would be sufficient under every single data sets. There are a few questions which have been answered, so I'm just trying to skip. Sanjay, and also could you please tell us some websites sorry where we have access to the data set? Yeah, it's already been answered, so I'm just going to skip. Arjun, is the expectation to do further research or dissertation on existing paper or to completely new problem? No. Thank you, Arun, for asking this question. Remember, guys, for your master's program, you don't have to come something novel. You just have to show that whatever the things which you have done, it's to the state of the art approach. That's enough. The next question is from Abhishek. How do we search for data set? What should be the ideal size of the data set? No, there is no ideal size of the data set. Okay. Vijay, is this webinar recorded and we can have access to it? Yes, Vijay, all your live classroom session video recordings will be available in your upgrade platform. The next one is from Anand. When we say topic, do you mean the problem statement that we are trying to solve? Yes, Anand. Anonymous certainty. After selecting the topic in data set, can we change the data set? Yes, you are allowed to change, but you need to get an approval from us. What will be the mechanism to submit the data set, which might be 100 gigabytes? You can upload the data sets to your drive and then you can share the link to us. Anonymous certainty. What do you mean by reading one paper per day? The research papers. I just heard a message from Santosh like he could not able to hear. What about others? Can you able to hear me? Oh, thank you for your confirmation, guys. Santosh, others can able to hear Santosh. Yeah, thank you very much for your confirmation, guys. The next question is from Anonymous Attendee. What would you suggest for us to utilize this time until the course starts officially? When you say read research papers, what kind of papers? It can be some journal papers or a conference papers. Before reading the papers, choose the data set and try to understand like what are the things that has been done in that specific data set, and start searching for the research papers that are related to that data set. The next question is kind of a weird. Is it the MS degree equivalent to the MS degree? So what do you mean? The next question is from Rajesh. Would it be possible for me to continue research on the related topic after the program if I want to pursue? What would be your advice on how I do it? Yes, Rajesh. There are some students after completing the masters, they want to come and do the PhD in LJMU. And there are such students who are going to join in 2021. So those were the students who competed in the previous, I think, the first cohort. So they are joining for the PhD program next year. So there are some students, who continue. So it depends. The next one is from Prashant. Are there topics in a healthcare domain? If so, can you provide some example, please? Yeah, Prashant, there are quite a lot of, topics available in a healthcare domain. It can be something on a cancer. So, for example, if you are interested on a breast cancer, then you can go to BCSC dataset, a research from where you can download the dataset. There are some diabetes datasets. There are some images on different types of cancers. So, yes, there are quite a lot of data sets that are available on a healthcare. The only thing is like you need to search. The next question is from Deepak. Once the topic and data set is chosen, is it fixed or can we change it before starting the thesis and research? Yeah, you can change your data set and topic after your proposal or even after submitting your proposal, but you need to get an approval. Anonymous attendee, please talk to your student mentor. They will give you the calculation. The next one is from anonymous attendee. For one topic, there are many research papers available. How many papers should we read? I need guidance on how to do literature review in right way. Okay, guys, you would be, guided on how to read the research papers and how to do a literature review. Everything would be given to you in a form of videos, as well as during the live classroom sessions. I will be explaining to you. So don't worry. Vijay, can we publish our papers in different journals, or do we need LJMU approvals to do that? No, Vijay, you can just go ahead and publish on you. You don't need to get any kind of an approval from us after you're completing your thesis. The next question is from Debashish. You mentioned we should first search or select the data set and later select the research topic later. But without deciding the research topic, how can we decide on the data set? Because the data set should be according to the research topic. Suppose if it is a banking related or online bank marketing topic, etc., we need to search or select only these kind of data set. Is it okay? That's right. The Bashis. Here you are not choosing your research topic. That's your interest area. If your interest area is on a banking domain, then you should start searching your data sets related to the banking domain. And once you found your data set, from your data, from reading the literature that are related to your data sets, you will come up with your research topic. This is the usual process. Arjun, in topic selection, will it be 3 topic on the same data set or 3 topic on the 3 different data sets? Would like to understand more on the data set selection. Okay, Arun, very good question, Arun. If you have 3 different problems on the same data set, you can submit, or it can be 3 different data sets with completely different problems, also possible. Mohammed Habib, can you please post us some of the links for thesis references or dataset references? I think it has already been posted in your chat window, so I'm just going to skip. For the technical implementation of using cloud and big data or data lakes, no, I don't have such specific links for that, Mohammed Habib. You have to do your research on your own. Anonymous attendee, how different these papers are different from a PhD program. Your master's provides a strong foundation for your PhD. In your PhD, you have to come up with your thesis. So once you have completed your master's program, you will have an understanding, a very clear understanding on how to do a research and how to write your thesis. This would be very helpful for your PhD. And by the way, guys, there are some official statistics from United States that students who progress from a master's to PhD, the number of success rate is very much higher when compared to the students who directly go from a bachelor's degree to a PhD. So your master's program is like a bridge program that will be helpful for your PhD. Rajesh, yes, in case of an emergency, you can, you just have to follow some of our process and then you can get an extension. Anonymous attendee, just want to confirm again. So we need to submit 3 topic ideas. Can we mark priority as well? It's not going to work in that way, anonymous attendee. We are not going to approve based on your priority, but rather based on how the research topic is relevant for your master's dissertation. And would it be possible for you to complete your research within 6 months of period? So we will consider all these criteria in order to approve your topic. The next question is from Pooja. For one topic, there are many research papers available. How many papers should we read? I think it's already been answered, so I'm just going to skip. How thesis related to IPs or patents or handle? That's a different story, Ashutosh. I don't want to discuss now about the IP. Anonymous attendee, can you give an overview of job in UK after successful completing the MSc program? You can talk to the UpRad program team about the job offers that are available after you complete your MSc program. I don't want to go it in that direction on the career perspective. The next question, what are the easily available data sets in banking domain apart from credit card? That can be on a marketing or a loan defaulters. So only these 3 topics on a credit, which are related to the banking domain. What will be the grading methodology for MSc? It will be either a pass, merit, or distinction. Tushar, other than the provide resources, can we also have an option to download the government data set for research? Is it valid? Yes, it is valid, Tushar. But there is one thing which you have to be very careful. Some of the government data sets are not suitable for your thesis. The reason why, if you ask what is the reason behind, some of the data sets are extremely aggregated. So from those type of data, you can just come up with a basic analysis and you may not be able to build any models. So in that case, it may not be much relevant. So if you are working with a government data set, you just have to be very careful. The next one is from Debashish. Could you help explaining in brief the basic difference between doing a project or case study in PG diploma and MSc dissertation? Expect the fact that we got some guidance in PG diploma and in MSc, we need to do it ourselves. Okay, so during your postgraduate diploma, the data set, the problem, everyone might be working on the same problem, on the same data, and there will be quite a lot of spoon feeding that will happen during your PGD. But in your master's program, you are trying to show that you can work on a problem on an independent. That is something important. And when you go to a PhD, that's quite a different story, guys. There won't be anyone. You will be completely independent on your own. So that is the skill that you will be developing in your MSc. Is it legal to take data set from Kaggle challenge topic for thesis? Please read the terms and conditions. If some of the data sets, yes, some data sets, no. So you just have to read the T&C. The next question is from Kuldeep. We need to get approval from company even if you're not getting or using data set from company. No, you have to get an approval only if you're using that data set from the company. Arun, will we get LJMU alumni status? And if in UK, can we visit university? Yes, Arun, you are welcome to visit us. Anytime you just inform in advance so that we can prepare. And there are some students from UK, they are doing master's program through upgrade. There are few students who are doing that in that mode as well. So if you are somewhere in United Kingdom, please feel free to visit us. Sanjay, your question is already been answered. Your data set doesn't have to be large. Okay, what will happen if all the three submitted research topics get rejected? You will be given 1 week time for you to do a research on some other data set, and during that time you can also book my consultation slot, and we can discuss. Anonymous attendee, how do we select data set? How do we select data set first without topic selection? First topic needs to be selected, then we need to search for the suitable data, right? No, I think it's already been answered, so I'm just going to skip. Is the duration for submitting thesis fixed or flexible? It's fixed, Santosh. What are the evaluation criterias? Okay, during the live classroom session, I would share the marking scheme for your proposal as well as for your thesis. So you would know like the components weightage and which component has the highest weightage and which components you need more focus. Everything would be given to you once the program starts. Gopinath, can we use open source data from government agencies? The answer is yes. My question is, how will this master experience help in doing further PhD? I think it's already been answered, but let me just repeat. This will provide you a platform for you to understand how to do a research, how to write a thesis, how to articulate your problem, and how to justify your problems, your approaches. So this is the important or key skills that would be required in your PhD, that will be helpful for your PhD as well. The next question, is it necessary to deploy the model for presentation purpose? The answer is no. Siddharth, once I get a data set, say from Kaggle, how do I relate it to a research paper from, say, a research kit, or even how do I search for papers based on the data set that I finalize? That would be the trick which would be discussed during the live classroom session. But never mind, you don't have to wait until that time. Since you have posted now, let me give you a simple trick. If you see a data set that has been posted in a Gecko, try to see who contributed the data set. Once you start to search from the contributor, then it's easy for you to identify the base paper. From the base paper, you can easily, pull all the articles that are relevant to your research. Rohit, does this master's not include the implementation or project? The implementation, it can be a model validation. Shall we provide separate data set for each topic? The answer is yes. Tushar, is there a way to validate if a chosen topic has not already been worked upon? We will approve, Tushar. Can I talk to LJMU technical panel at any point of time? No, the point of contact is me, so you can just talk to me during the live classroom section or a one-to-one call. Yeah, in the beginning, I choose a data set from the topic and get an approval from LJMU. Will I be allowed to change the topic? I think it's already been answered. The answer is yes, you can change your topic, but you need to get an approval for each time you change your data set. Ashutosh, is it required to select a unique research topic? The answer is no. Vijay, what format for approval required from company? Email approval from manager will do, or must be a HR letter with a company stamp? If it is with a HR letter with a company stamp, it's better. If not, an email from your manager. Swati, will you be able to give a brief example of a topic and how where the data set was selected and how to use for thesis? Yes, Swati, I will be explaining you during the live classroom session. No, we don't have a time to discuss that now. Vinith, what is the criteria for our research papers to be accepted? Don't worry, Vinith. I will be guiding you through those entire process. So you just try to attend all the live classroom sessions. That's important. Can we choose the topic at the beginning and prepare the data set while doing our thesis? No, don't do that. Will there be any demo on how we present back our thesis towards the end of the program? No, there won't be any demo, but we will help you. We will guide you on how to do the presentation or what are the requirements. Gopinath, after completing LJMU master's program, are we eligible for PhD? The answer is yes. I think I told you earlier, there are some students who have already got a PhD after completing the master's program with upgrad and LJMU. There are some students who are interested to pursue the PhD, a full-time PhD in our campus, LJMU. So they are coming to UK next year. Do we have to show something novel in our research, or can we do a research survey on a topic? You can do a research survey on a topic. It doesn't have to be novel, but it has to be somewhat state of the art. Ankita, do we need to submit any hard copies of thesis? The answer is no. What LGB alumni status will be provided? Please talk to your student mentor. They will give you the list. Sivam, can you give an idea of PhD cost, a model offline and online? Please talk to Upgrad. We would be able to do PhD in other universities as well after completing. Yes, Gomanti, it shouldn't be a problem. Please talk to your Upgrad people. How is upgrade course different from offline course provided by LGMU? There is not much difference. The quality is still the same. Can we work on the data sets like AlphaGo or AlphaZero? The answer is yes. You mentioned one data set and three topics. Can you explain or elaborate? From one data set, if you identified three different problems, then you can submit it as a three different topics. That's what I meant, Kalpesh. Can we have multiple approvals from top for topics? Yeah, it's possible. Rishi, can we generate our own data set? Would we require to share the data set generation method? If you're planning to generate your own data set, then of course it is important for you to share the generation methods or the algorithm which was used. Will we provide a resources in terms of online portals for computation or a big data platform to do our research? I think so, yeah. Please talk to your student mentor. Rohini, questions related to PhD program. Can you help me with the details to continue with the LJMU PhD program post-masters? Is student mentor right person to talk about this program? Okay, Rohini. Um, Now, focus on your master's program. After completing your master's program, you can easily move to your PhD. Towards the end, we can help you to guide you on how to do your PhD in LJMU. Okay, since we already have all your information from your masters, so the approval from LJMU is going to be very quick when compared to other universities in UK. Anonymous attendee, in case none of the three topics got approved, what topic will be given? Will student know the reason for not approval? If it is not been approved, then we would advise you to have a one-to-one call with me or with some other person so that to discuss. Hafizullah, what would be a typical research paper for data science? I think it's already been answered, so I'm just going to skip. What happens when we are not able to solve the problem statement when we have chosen for our thesis in a given time? Does it affect the research still that count? Don't worry, anonymous attendee. That's the reason we have quite a lot of checkpoints. So if we think that the problem cannot be solved, we will let you know in advance. Is there any particular format we need to submit the thesis? Yeah, there is a particular format. It should be available in your upgrade platform. Will we have to build regression or SVM model using code in R or a Python? It's not necessary that you need to use a programming language. It can also be some drag and drop methods. Kalpesh, can we choose a topic that uses multiple data sets? Yes. Mohammed Abib, can you please repeat once again MSc Academic 3 proposal, topic selection with data set, video presentation? No. 3 topic submission. Second, it's your proposal. Third, interim report. Fourth, thesis. And the last one, it's video presentation. Anonymous attendee, what if the data is personal or sensitive, then also should be shared with LJMU? No. If you are, first of all, if you are collecting any personal or a sensitive data, you have to complete, get an approval. Abu, is the attendance or live classroom sessions tracked? I think so, yes. Can we use unstructured or other formats like video files? For what purpose? Is there a classroom course happening in parallel along with upgrade master's program? I could not able to understand your question. Rohit, can the topic be something like a COVID-19 detection using x-rays even if has already been solved by someone else? Yeah, that's right. You can choose despite it's been solved by someone else, but you have to show your way of solving the same problem, or it can be a different problem. Marisa, can we pursue DBA in LJMU after completing MSc? If we offer the program, if you satisfy the requirements, obviously yes, you can. Kalpesh, can PhD at LJMU be done from India like this program? Not at the moment, might be in the future. Debashish, after completing of MSc, if we want to pursue PhD from LJMU, do we need to do one full-time staying in UK, or we can do it from India in online or a distance mode? If you want to do it in a full-time mode, you're welcome to do it here. For the offline or a distance mode, still we don't have that program. Might be in the future. Do LJMU has any criteria for PhD selection distinction score in MSc or similar? No, we will validate your research proposal that has been submitted for your PhD. Is this master's degree acceptable as a master's degree in India for PhD? Do we need to do any gap fill course? Not at the moment. The UGC does not approve any UK as well as the Australia program, but this is what I heard. Like in the future, yes, it will be accepted. Can synthetic data be used in lieu of client data set and submit a research topic without getting project approvals? No, please don't do that. Can we use AutoML against a research topic? Yes, it's possible. Do files like video streams or video files qualify as a data set? Yes, anonymous attendee. Do we need to share our data set with the LJMU? The answer is yes, if it doesn't requires any, if it is not a sensitive data, and if you are not working on a company data, yes, you can submit. Can we do sentiment analysis using web scraping from Amazon or a Flipkart? Gopinath, there is already the data set available. So why do you want to spend your time on again doing a web scraping? Don't waste your time. Anwar, what should we keep in mind while writing any suggestions? Attend the live classroom session. I will be teaching you some of the tips and tricks. How are we going to choose the project topic? That's a question posted by Sonal. You have to wait until the next live classroom session, Sonal. Would we be provided this recording for references? Yes, Anwar, all your live classroom session recordings will be available. Yes, Harsh, the PowerPoint slides will be shared after the webinar. Please talk to your student mentor. Krishna, your question is already being answered, so I'm just going to skip. Siddharth, your question is also being answered, so I'm just going to skip. Krishnakant, how soon would we be able to get access to the papers and the journals? It will take some time. Please talk to your student mentor. Pooja, do we need to submit our code along with the thesis? The answer is yes. Would we receive the hard copy of the degree delivered to our address? Yes, Anwar, please talk to your student mentor. I would like to work on reinforcement learning plus autonomous driving. Could you suggest any tips to start now? Try to read some papers and also try to limit your idea. What is the frequency and average duration of live classroom sessions? It's about 1.5 hours every weekly once. Shalini, if I share my personal data set, will that be kept confidential? Yes, Shalini. Can you repeat the list of source for searching the data set? Santosh, it's already been posted in the chat window. What are the criteria for thesis assessment or grades? You just wait until the live classroom session starts. Before you start every phase, I will be sharing you the assessments or the criteria. Just give me a second, guys. The next question is from Santosh. When would be the list of research topics shared with us from there? How long will it take to submit a topic? Please talk to your student mentor, Santosh. Anonymous attendee, could you suggest some of the areas in AI to choose thesis topic from which hold more promise and have a good future? Okay, there is no such thing, anonymous attendee. It doesn't have to be something very unique or a niche. It can be an old problem, but if it is not been solved, yes, you can work. And some of the recent advancement, it's on an explainable AI. That is quite interesting area to explore. Something on a deep learning, if you're interested, you can explore. Shad, do we have data sets available for fake customer reviews? Yes, Shad. Do you remember I gave you the link to the data sets? The sixth one, help. The help has a fake review data set, which I personally used it for one of my research. So I'm pretty sure the data set is still available. Siddharth, please repeat the answer for the question from Tia. Can I take a project in my organization? How would I get a supervisor for that? The answer is you can take the project from your organization. The supervisor would be assigned based on the topic which you have selected. So that is for our thesis. Some of the organizations would also require to have some people from their own company. So those would be the person as a co-supervisor, and they will not be involved in marking. They will be the person who can guide you. Okay, is that clear? Siddharth? Ujwal, is there any particular book you will recommend for MSc? There is no such book, Ujwal. Prashant, what is the time duration to accomplish PhD post completion of masters? Might be 2 to 3 years if you are planning to do. When the topic is selected on our own, how to define the scope and estimate deadlines. Don't worry, anonymous attendee. Once the live classroom session starts, I will be teaching you those things. Can you please dataset links? Can you please share the dataset links? I missed that. Yeah, sure. Santosh, we still don't have WhatsApp group created. Please talk to your student mentor, Santosh. Will there be any exam or viva at the end along with the paper submission? No exam. There is no viva, but you will be recording your video presentation on your own. Could not find the videos, but observe these videos on. Could you please confirm? Search for menly.com. Go to the menly.com, and then you can try to navigate, and you can search for the video tutorials. Till which date we have to select and finalize the topic for research. So this entire month you can spend your time to choose the different data sets that are available. Anonymous attendee, are there any specific areas in AI where LJMU is more focused if we incline to do PhD after the masters? This is to align the topic now for the thesis in those areas. No, anonymous attendee, we have an expert in all the areas. So, whichever area which you are interested, please focus on that. If I like some topics but not finding good data set in that area, what are the options like generating, synthesizing our own data set? Please don't waste your time. If you don't find a good data set, choose some other data set. What is the deadline for submitting our data set? It will be next month. Please check with your student mentor. Krishnakant, to run the code, do we need to use software present in our machine, or can we use a Kaggle kernel or Google Colab for running the code? It's up to you, Krishna. Hitesh, what is the size or number of words for the master's dissertation? It's about 17,000 words. How do we know if the data set is good or not? Please wait for the live classroom session. I will be explaining to you. What if I used to do thesis in area where data set is not required? Is data set required for thesis? If you're working on a reinforcement learning, there is no data sets. So in that case, you don't have to submit a data set. What if there is already a thesis done in my chosen area? How to know if there is no such thesis exist? That's very difficult for your master's program, anonymous attendee. So you just have to do something different from what others have done. Itesh, does the accuracy of the model play a great part in play a great play a part in the grading of the dissertation, or is it the methodology which is more important? Very good question, Itesh. Your methodology is more important, not your accuracy of your model. For example, let's say that on a data set called as an ABC, other researchers were able to get 95 percentage, whereas coming up with your own methodology or approach, you were able to achieve only 89 percentage. But if you can justify what was the difference between your work and their work and why were your results were lower, if you can properly justify that, it's not going to have any impact. Let me give you another scenario. Other researchers were able to get 95, whereas the model or the methodology which you are proposing, it gives you only 50 or less than 50. Then it is a very serious issue. Okay. The next question from Swati: when are the live sessions starting? Please check with your student mentor. They will be sending you an email. Okay, so by now we have completed with 254 questions. Is there any other doubts? Anonymous attendee, how are the grades allotted for MSc? What are the exact criteria? I think it was already been answered, so I'm just going to repeat. Before you start every single phase, we will share the assessment criteria. So don't worry, anonymous attendee. The marks, I mean, the assessment criteria are very transparent. Okay, guys, so is there any other doubts? Okay, so the next question is from anonymous attendee. From your point of view for future, which field topic can I choose for the thesis so that it will help in future? Okay, for your master's program, you don't have to work on any new technologies or the topics which are going to help in the future. It can be a simple topic as long as you can able to identify the problem and you can show that these are the ways in which you have which you did in order to solve that problem. That's fine. That is more than sufficient for your master's program. What's the stipend offered during PhD? That's a question posted by Prashant. There is no such stipend, Prashant, but if you are interested, you can work as a part-timer for about 30 hours or 40 hours per week. I'm not sure. You need to check. Kalpesh, the length of dissertation, is it 17,000 words or 70,000 words? No, it's 17. It's 17,000 words. Krishnakant, I could not hear your reply, so thought I would ask again. Can we use Kaggle kernel or a Google Colab? The answer is yes, Krishnakant. Okay, guys. So, is there any other doubts? Anonymous attendee, are we required to solve some problem or is it some research with problem yet to be solved? No, if it is a research with some problem yet to be solved, that is a PhD, anonymous attendee. There are some problems which has been worked by other researchers. You can take the same problem and you can come up with your own way of solving that problem. That's it. Don't worry about these now. The live classroom sessions are designed in such a way that will help you to understand every single phase of your master's program. For now, just focus on choosing your area of interest, choose your data set, start searching your data set, and once you have started searching your data set, try to find some papers and start reading. That should be your focus now. Okay, guys, so is there any other doubts? I believe all your queries have been answered. So I think it's a good time to end the session. Okay, so thank you everyone for participating for this welcome webinar. So hope all your queries have been answered. If you still have further queries on how to do your research and how to choose your data set, that's something very normal. Don't worry. You know, at the earlier stage, everyone will have that kind of an hiccups. So don't worry about that. Because the program is yet to start. Um, Everything would be sorted out once as you progress. So thank you very much once again for participating, guys, and see you all during the live classroom sessions. And you just have to wait until your student mentors gives you the schedule. Okay, so thank you once again, and have a good night to you all.